ESV, NIV, NLT, NASB, KJV. If all these letters just leave you more confused than helped, you're not at all alone. Many of us go looking for what Bible is the best, and we end up with more questions than answers. In this video, I'll give you 3 things that'll help you figure out which Bible might be the best for you. First, I'll explain why there isn't just one best Bible. Second, I'll explain the 2 different types of Bible translations. And third, I'll leave you with some Bibles that you can trust. So you may be thinking, why don't we just take all the words and change them to English and call it a day? And then, boom, there you go. Well, let me show you why that doesn't work. Alright, let's look at Mark 1 right here. And he came out thence and came into the father of him at. This is what happens when you just translate the words and throw them down and call it a day. This is why we can't just do that and then give it to a 3rd grader to read. So that's why you can't just take the word from Greek and turn it into English and then call it a day. And not only does that make it to where we'll end up with different decisions on what to reorder, but also languages don't go, this word means this word means that, and then just plop them down. It gets a lot more complicated because one word can mean one thing in one context and then something completely different in another. And that's all a super complicated process. And that's why there's not just one best translation, because no translator is perfect. So here we have 2 different translations of the same verse. We have the ESV, a formal translation, words, and the NIV, dynamic translation, ideas. So let me read these to you. When the days drew near for him to be taken up, he set his face to go to Jerusalem. As the time approached for him to be taken up to heaven, Jesus resolutely set out for Jerusalem. So you can see the phrase I highlighted there. In the ESV, they're trying to translate words, so they're going to translate what was closest to what the original text said. So set his face to go to Jerusalem is what they put. And the NIV is a dynamic translation, so they're going to put what the text meant to us. Instead of putting the old Hebrew idiom, set his face to go to, they put what it means now, resolutely set out for. So you may be wondering, how does this apply? What's the practical use of this information? If you're going in an in-depth Bible study in your house and you're, going deep in the Bible, or if you're in a study group or something, then a formal translation would probably be preferable. Whereas if you're sitting on your couch casually reading the Bible, or if you're reading to like a youth group or some kids or something, some kind of different environment, then a dynamic translation would probably be better for that. So that's where it's not about what's the best translation, it's about what's the best translation for what I'm doing. And I don't want to just leave you with advice on that. So if you're looking for a good formal translation, you can trust the ESV, and you can also trust the King James Version. Those are 2 very reliable ones. If you need a dynamic translation, the 1984 NIV is rock solid. And if you need something kind of middle of the way, you can always go with the Net Bible. This is a great Bible. But don't take my advice too far on this, because I'm by no means any expert at this. But all the Bibles I did list, I've heard good things about them from an expert, so I'm pretty sure you can trust them. But always double check, because it is the most important book in your life. But that's all I got for you. Thank you for being here, and all support is appreciated. And as always, God bless.